You may have seen rock crawling before, but you have never seen it like this. Hi, everybody. Welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Chad Booth.
And I'm Ria Rossi Booth. Join us at the Trailbreaker Challenge down in Hurricane, Utah, as the top 10 rock crawlers in the world take on never-before-climbed canyons.
Then Stephen takes us out on dirt bikes in the middle of winter.
And even though Thanksgiving is over, we still have time for this turkey. No, not Reece. That turkey.
Get ready for adventure on AYL. In the world of auto racing, it's Formula One. In the world of athletics, it's the Olympics. In the world of baseball, it's the World Series. So what is the premier world-class event for rock crawling? Well, we're at that event today. Hi, everybody. Welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Chad Booth.
And I'm Ria Rossi Booth, and we're at the Trail Hero in Sand Hollow State Park here in Hurricane, Utah. And this is the premier event of rock crawling. I'm talking top 10 in the world, right here, crawling up that wicked little crevasse.
You got to know that it's a world premiere event because Big Sarge Matt Westrich is announcing and covering the event like he always does.
Awesome,
a little busy right now, and we're going to show you and introduce you to some of the top racers in the world in this sport.
You know, I rode motorcycles and snow machines all my life, and then I moved over to Grand Junction, Colorado for a while, and I got into it over there because it was an hour from Moab.
These are by stages, so there's usually like 3 sets of flags you have to get through. Some of the flags have options. You can take a harder line or easier line, but you have 15 minutes to get through those 3 sets of flags. Each stage has a map, and that map tells you how many points each obstacle's worth. And so if you get through all 3, then you get a certain amount of points depending on what it says. And then time comes into a factor. If there's a tie, then they use time to figure out who won.
Obviously, you want to do the best you can. These are some amazing drivers I get to compete against, and it's an honor to get to drive with them. But I just wanted to come out and have some fun and go wheeling, and it's a great place and time to do it.
You know, I consistently place in the top 5, so it's been a good year, and you know, I feel like this is right up my alley. I'd try this stuff whether there was a course set up or not. So, and everybody here would. Everybody here, we've wheeled together at one time or another just on a trail for fun, and everybody here is totally game to hit this stuff anytime.
Fire!
Did you see me catch on fire?
Yeah. No!
I like that you have free backups. You're not getting pointed on anything.
Well, it was a lot of fun. I kind of made a mess of a few of the lines, but that's the way trail wheeling works, right? We all try to come up with our own line.
I'm still shaking. Yeah, you can't fall off the left line in a huge notch, so it's kind of sketchy, but the little moon buggy did really good.
How fast did you finish that?
I heard it took 1.5 minutes on a 20-minute course.
Did you learn anything about yourself out there?
Just to take a better line next time.
It caught on fire. I've been on my side. I can't believe I'm here right now, up at the top with Tracy Jordan and Justin Kyleman. I can't believe it. I'm so happy. Thank you so much.
Well, we've all met the players, and now let's let the games begin. Check out those rigs.
That's true. Guy really is hard on tires.
He's got some meat on those babies.
Yeah, but man, it's just grinding right up. Anyway, you found out what their strategies are. They've talked a little bit about what their secret weapons, their technology is, but none of it means anything unless you make it up that. And we will watch them go up that right after we go to our travel adventure.
Thanks, guys. I'm Stephen Heumann. You know, January is a time of resolutions when we decide to try new things and go new places. Well, I'm doing half of that today. I'm up here at Daniels Summit Lodge, which is the top of Highway 40 between Heber and Duchesne. It's one of our favorite places to come and snowmobile. But I'm trying something very new. This is a timber track. It's a dirt bike with a conversion on it so you can take it out into the snow. I'm going to try it for the first time today. We're going to show you some of this area and why this is the coolest new way to hit the snow. The snow has fallen plentifully overnight here at the Strawberry Snowmobile Complex, so conditions are perfect for hitting the powder. On a clear day, you can look down on Strawberry Reservoir into peaks off on the horizon. Today isn't a clear day, so our goal isn't to sightsee, but to find out how these timber sleds perform on the mountain. How do you ride this thing, Dave?
So this is a normal motorcycle. You take the tires off of it, the swing arm off of it, the rear shock off of it, and you put the timber sled kit on it. So it consists of a mount to the front, bottom of the front forks with the ski on it, one ski on the front, and a track kit that goes where the swing arm and the rear tire was. They all are so much fun. You can go anywhere, zigzag through the trees, up and down. Not like a snowmobile where you fly straight up and down everything, but you can zigzag, get anywhere you want.
So if you've ridden a dirt bike, you can ride this. It's not going to be any mystery.
These are so easy to ride. They're easier than a dirt bike, and they're easier than a snowmobile.
All right, well, how about we hit the trail?
I'd say we go riding.
People like me that ride dirt bikes more than snowmobiles, it's opened up a whole new winter activity. The bike, narrow ski, narrow track, it's not pulling you downhill. You can just cut and carve, do side hills and off cambers all day long.
I like the versatility of them, that you can have the dirt bike, but then I also like that you, from the dirt bike experience, that you can just hop right on one and go play out in the snow too. It's very, very similar. And if you've ever rode like a pedal bike, anything like that, you pretty much know how to ride a timber sled. But a snowmobile, you gotta use your weight a lot more on the sides, and especially on side hilling, it's a lot more difficult. Still fun if you can do it and have the experience, but timber sled, it's not as good as climbing, but as far as all-out riding, it does a lot better for your average rider.
All right, those are a heck of a lot of fun. First of all, you gotta get used to the fact that you don't have a brake, and that you've got to just allow it to stop as you pull off the throttle. The snow quality today, oh my gosh, it's 2 feet of fresh powder. It is nuts out there, but these were so much fun. These timber sleds are easy to maneuver, and quickly I was going places I'd never felt comfortable riding in a standard sled. And everything about the area was perfect, which is what makes Daniels Summit and the Strawberry Snowmobile Complex such a great place to come and explore.
It's got a variety of terrain. You got a little bit of difficult terrain for your experienced rider, but also you got your trails and some area off the trail to play on for your more beginner rider, which is why we like to come here.
You got amenities here, gas and food, but the snow is good. The way it comes across, it always seems to hit right here good and always has good powder.
Now, if you want to come out here and experience this area for yourself and get a chance to ride a timber sled at the same time, January 23rd, 24th, and 25th, Stedman's will be up here hosting a riding event where you can take one out and test drive it for free. Stedman's has some other options for you as well if you want to take out a timber sled.
If you can't make it out on one of those days and come up here to ride, you can come out and rent the machine for a day or whatever and get a feel for it that way too. A lot of people ride dirt bikes in the summer and don't have anything to do in the wintertime except sit at home in a hot tub. So you get on one of these. Everybody that come out last year and rode loved it, had a great time. All they could talk about was getting a timber sled for this year to ride.
This has been so much fun today on these timber track conversions. Dave, woo! Remember, if you want to come out and try this for yourself, you can, January 23rd, 24th, and 25th, right here at Daniels Summit. It's going to be a great experience. Come out, bring your family anytime during the day, and they will have these machines ready for you. So come out and enjoy. Well, I'm Stephen Heumann for At Your Leisure. We need to take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more adventure. Let's go ride some more, Dave.
Oh, boom!
Family time, friend time, your time. You've been thinking about getting a machine, but which one is right for you? An ATV, side-by-side, or dirt bike? Stedman's Recreation has Utah's largest selection of Honda, Polaris, Yamaha, and Beta machines. See them all at Stedman's Recreation in Tooele. Need a tune-up, new tires, or want a winch? Stedman's Service Department can help.
Stedman's Recreation in Tooele. You may think it's 300 miles out here, but remember, it's only 30 miles back.
When the road takes you farther than you knew possible, when the world is more beautiful than you've ever seen, when home is more comfortable than it should be, this is when you know you're in Kane County. The perfect mix of rural and urban, culture and adventure. Glendale, Orderville, Kanab, Big Water, small towns with more to offer than just peace and quiet. Kane County, Utah. Find the new you.
What a great time to get out and ride the ATV and UTV. Summertime's here. However, some of the key things that one can do in order to prevent an accident or an injury on these is to know your machine. Sometimes when you're on an ATV, you have the ability to shift your weight and move around. On a UTV, you're somewhat restricted. Do a couple of things. Read your owner's manual, take an education course, and become familiar with your machine and start slowly. Utah State Parks, adventures for everyone.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. I'm Darren Kinder, and we have an awesome, fun product review to do today, and it's the new Skidoo 850. Now, this is a brand new chassis from Skidoo, and they've done so many things to this thing, I couldn't possibly tell you about it all in just a short time. One of the things they've done is they've really changed the motor. Okay, yeah, it's more cc's, but they've done a lot of things to make it a lot more reliable and last a lot longer, which is going to be a big deal. This machine, you know, 2-3 years down the road is still going to be running like a champ because they've done some things. They've plasma coated the cylinder walls. They use a direct injection on it. They actually have 4 injectors for 2 cylinders, and the pickup on the machine is incredible. When you push that throttle, you have an immediate response, and the machine just takes off and goes. There's no lag in it, no sag, nothing. It just runs perfect. Now, by making that crankshaft forged and only out of 2 pieces, they're able to make the motor narrower, center it in the chassis, and also make the overall machine narrower. It's 2 inches narrower than the old XP chassis. So it's a much easier handling machine. About everybody that we were out riding with today got on this, and they could immediately tell how much quicker the machine handled and turned. Just takes a lot less input than the old machines used to. That also has a lighter weight clutch on it, which helps, you know, reduce rotating mass, and it's a lot more efficient. I'm telling you, when you give this thing a little bit of throttle, it's engaging those clutches quickly and efficiently, and everything just moves like you think it ought to. Now, one of the things that's really unique about the Skidoo is the track, because it's 16 inches wide, so it's wider than most other manufacturers. It's a 3-inch lug, so how tall it is, and then it's a 3.5-inch pitch, which is the distance between the lugs. And what that does is they were able to lighten up the track incredibly. This machine is about 20 pounds lighter than the machine before it. So they've cut a lot of weight on it, they've added power, and they've made it a lot more durable. Now, these come in a 165 and a 154. I rode them both today, and I could hardly tell the difference. I liked them both. One thing they've done up here as well is they've simplified all of the instrumentation and gauges and the buttons on it. Instead of having big bulky buttons everywhere, they've moved the buttons down here to the dash. They have a very simple gauge on it, which is nice. They do come with a little jockey box. You can put an extra pair of gloves or goggles in there. And what's nice about the way they've done these buttons and stuff for the kill switch and the reverse button is they're a lot smaller, and you can slide them inboard so that you don't accidentally turn the machine off once in a while. Now, these machines have had a lot of improvements, and I can't begin to tell you all of them, but get into Wellers and Camas. They're just a couple miles west of Camas on Highway 248, and they can tell you all about these. I'm Darren Kinder. We'll see you next time.
In our never-ending push to come up with what's next, we took everything you love about the Summit to an entirely new level. The next Ski-Doo Summit. Powerful, effortless. It's what's next.
The Utah Farm Bureau has always been there to fight for the needs of its members, with discount programs on items ranging from vehicles and ATVs to health and wellness. The membership fees aren't big, but the results are. We've been around since 1916, and we're not leaving anytime soon. Utah Farm Bureau. We work for those who work to feed the world.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. There's a Polaris to match your passion. Whether you ride mud, rocks, dunes, or trails, Razor leads the way. With unequaled power, unrivaled suspension, unmatched agility, and unbeatable comfort. Perfectly combined to chase what matters. Lifelong memories with friends and family.
Let's be honest, you don't know much about Beaver County. Well, let me tell you about it. It's the birthplace of outlaw Butch Cassidy and inventor Philo T. Farnsworth. Some of the best skiing in Utah is at Eagle Point. You've got camping, Canyon Breeze Golf Course, Crusher and the Tushers Beaver Territorial Courthouse, snowmobiling, renewable energy, Pioneer Car Show, Squeaky Cheese, Ghost Towns to explore, best water in the country, Paiute ATV trails, Old Frisco Kilns, horse races, hunting, fishing, and it's a good place to live. Beaver County, mountains of fun. I could tell you more, but why don't you come and see it for yourself?
Well, I can hear them. They're somewhere over that crevasse down in the Grand Canyon. Well, not actually. Making their way up. This is the Trailbreaker event, part of Trail Hero, and this is at your leisure.
That's right, and these are the top 10 in the world climbing up these unbelievable rocks. And these guys have big machines and big courage.
And they are showing it to anybody that wants to show up.
Yeah.
Trail Hero wanted to make sure that this stayed free, so nobody has to pay any entrance fee to come be a spectator and watch on this course. And we should find out what they think.
So far it's been great. I mean, you can't beat the weather. And I'm surprised how many people are here. Man.
I think it turned out great. There's a huge turnout here, surprising for the middle of the week, you know. And all of the names that you're hearing, you know, they're well-known racing names, you know, and so it's kind of fun to come out and watch them.
This is phenomenal, I have to say. I mean, not that I'm the top dog wheeler, but boy, these guys sure made it look easy.
This is an awesome event. The difficulties of these obstacles is just amazing. The vehicle should not make it through it. It's crazy.
I was expecting to see a lot of rigs do some crazy stuff, and that's exactly what they're doing. This notch right here is actually probably the hardest part.
We've been really enjoying the competition today and having a blast driving our own rig around the trails here.
We've had a bunch of unusual twists and turns. There's a really tight obstacle on number 2. We just saw that guy get through. It's a real tight squeeze. And this one's got pretty much a vertical waterfall for 200 points.
So, do you think you could drive through this?
You know, I asked my husband, he says no.
Now you can see why the spectators like this so much. But personally, Ria, I got to tell you, if that was our Jeep and it ended up there,
Yeah.
I'd just put a for sale sign on it. Just run it on Craigslist.
Great
Done.
idea. Now we're gonna go to our trailhead adventure, and this is brought to you by Rocky Mountain ATV MC every single time, and they love these rigs.
I'm Reece Stein at your leisure in Woodland Hills in Utah County, where today we're going cold turkey. In the pre-dawn dim, the thermometer reads 4 degrees above as Dennis Sutherland spreads cracked corn on fresh snow beneath a large net trap.
We're getting an opportunity to trap and move some wild turkeys.
In just a few minutes, the parade begins. Dozens of wild turkeys magically emerge from the oak brush in Bill Stringham's Woodland Hills backyard.
I have enjoyed the wildlife around here. It's wonderful, but we had too many turkeys.
About 250 turkeys live in Bill's neighborhood, creating a kind of messy problem.
They're in a neighborhood that a lot of the people are a little bit concerned of having too many turkeys doing their thing on the driveways and sidewalks around.
It doesn't take the hungry birds long to find the corn. Dennis has been putting it out here for a week and the turkeys catch on fast. It's an amazing sight. Birds streaming in from all directions to munch the corn, oblivious to the net hovering a few feet above their feathers. But turkeys aren't the only critters fond of corn, and this young doe poses a real problem for the wildlife guys. As long as she's under the net, they can't drop it, and she ain't leaving till she eats her fill. For several anxious minutes, we watch as some of the turkeys, either annoyed by the deer or full of corn, wander off from under the net. Can't scare the deer away without spooking the turkeys. Finally, she strolls off, leaving some 50 birds about to get the shock of their lives.
Well, this is one of the methods we use to trap turkeys. It's a drop net that we bait underneath the net, and the birds congregate, as you noticed. And then we flip a switch and it drops the net and catches the birds.
In past captures, we've seen biologists use wire walk-in nets to trap the birds. And in others, my favorite, the rocket net. For the most part, the birds are not injured, just a few ruffled feathers. The capture crew quietly moves in to extricate the birds. Untangling them from the net is a real challenge. They're strong with sharp toenails and spurs.
Are you still stronger?
The toms and young males called jakes get a little bling, identification bands.
So now people will hunt these, and when they shoot them, then they send you the tag back or something?
Yeah, hopefully.
The birds are secured in special boxes from the National Wild Turkey Federation. Utah has a dozen active Turkey Federation chapters around the state, which raise a lot of money to acquire and maintain turkey habitat. 4 years into a 10-year plan, the Federation has enhanced some 50,000 acres of land around the state for the turkeys, well ahead of its 10-year goal of 40,000. Consequently, the wild turkey is maybe Utah's best wildlife success story.
They're doing great. It's awesome how they've really expanded and really flourished.
There were no wild turkeys in Utah as late as 1950. But in 1984, birds from the Midwest were brought in, and they literally took off. Today, there are more than 20,000 turkeys in almost every county, providing hunting and watchable wildlife opportunities. Bill Stringham, a retired turkey farmer from Sanpete, doesn't mind losing some of the birds.
But you'll still have some. I mean, they didn't get them all.
There will be some here, and
Yeah.
that'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's just that it's not healthy for the turkeys to be so congregated together.
All boxed up, these birds are headed for Tooele and Juab counties, where they'll be released away from homes where they won't cause conflicts.
That's another problem we have in the neighborhood. We have 250 turkeys here, and they're not huntable because you can't hunt around here. So we're taking these birds here to provide hunting opportunities in more remote areas.
Reece Stein at your leisure in Woodland Hills.
There's a little place on a Utah map where I was raised, where my heart's at, where the sagebrush grows wild and high, and the stars come out at night. Oh, there ain't nothing like being raised in the basin with a Ute reservation, skiing starvation, that Duchesne County life.
Dominate every trail. Conquer any task. You need a machine that does it all. Introducing Polaris General. The General is the most powerful rec utility side-by-side ever made. The industry's deepest cargo box lets you haul and dump up to 600 pounds, and the revolutionary cockpit totally refines comfort and protection. Polaris General, ultimate versatility to win every battle.
In a place that is beyond words, there is nothing to be said, except take your time in Bryce Canyon country.
Hmm. 112 bedrooms. I put guns on top of the channel, so if a bubble comes, I can kill them.
A 10-feet couch.
Very girly. Guns on the walls.
Some flowers on it.
A lot of beds to fit all my family.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure, finishing up our day at the Trail Breaker event. This has been just a whole bunch of fun.
Oh my gosh, what a day. And they call it the Trail Breaker because things break.
Correct.
And then these guys, the vendors, fix them.
That's right. There are a whole row of vendors, not only to fix them mechanically, but aesthetically as well. They got some tire guys here with some stock with them, and they've got all kinds of customizing accessories. It's kind of fun to shop around stuff like this.
Oh my gosh, this is just like a gearhead's heaven.
That's right. It's like being in a candy store, but then you could also say that about our calendar of events for all the things that are coming up in the next few weeks that you might want to go to.
First off, if you thought our travel adventure was really cool and it's something that you'd like to try, well then you're in luck. January 23rd through the 25th at Daniels Summit, our friends over at Stedman's will have some timber tracks out for you to ride.
This event is free to participants, but make sure that you dress appropriately for the snow because it's going to be cool.
Now if you're looking for something to heat up your January, the winter 4x4 Jamboree down in Hurricane, Utah will be perfect.
The event runs January 19th through the 21st. Now let's shift gears to a really serious event. On the 23rd of January in St. George from 6 to 9 p.m., there is a hearing about an action plan for motorized recreation on BLM lands. This is the Arizona Strip area. Now, this is different than any other planning in the past because it's not being hosted by the BLM. 23rd of January, 6 to 9 p.m., Red Lion Inn in St. George, 850 Bluff Street.
Now, before we show you the next week's show, let's take a look at our sticker winner of the week.
Congratulations to our winner this week. Here we have an AYL sticker on the back of this Can-Am.
Looks like your dog's a little camera shy.
That's true. Give us a call, 801-947-8888 to claim your prize. A 2-night stay up at Daniels Summit.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna love this place. I went up there with my family. It's just splendid. Now let's take a look at next week's show.
Next week on At Your Leisure, Darren and I join our friends from Weller Recreation for a snowmobile ride out of Camas, Utah. We've taken ATVs out of this area in the summer, but it's a completely different experience on a sled. Then we're headed down to southern Utah to enjoy the red rocks and the warmer weather for the winter 4x4 Jamboree. Set your DVRs for next week. You won't want to miss it.
Well, next week's show looks great.
It does indeed. And of course, you don't have to be a rock crawler or a sand dog or any of that stuff to come down and enjoy this area, because Sand Hollow State Park has a great lake, great campgrounds, full hookups. You can do primitive camping down here, and you can go up on the hill and play in the sand or in the rocks like we did.
It's amazing.
Yep. So remember, with equipment like this, there certainly is adventure around every bend, vertical or horizontal. The only thing is,
get out there and create your own adventure.
We'll see you next week on At Your Leisure. Let's go buy that Jeep. I put a for sale sign in my car. If I got there, I just leave it. That was all I was going to say.
Hey, now we're going to go to our travel. Now we're going to go to our travel adventure.
Trailhead. Hi, I'm Chad Booth from At Your Leisure. I hope you just enjoyed the YouTube video that you just watched. Now, remember, we come up with new videos like this every single week, so you might want to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss a single story that we have out. Now, you can also share us with all of your friends on social media. Here's how to do it right here, and that way they can have fun too. If you want detailed information, we of course have our website, AYLTV.com, and from there you can find out which television stations we broadcast on, so you never have to spend a day without your fix of family-oriented outdoor recreation adventure. Plus, don't forget we have really cool contests.